Kids of back in my day parents, what's the most annoying thing they ranted about? My friend's dad used to always tell us that if we were motivated we could go to the nearest grocery store, get a job as a bagger and become store manager in a matter of months. Alright, then you go do that. That their parents were way stricter and more overbearing, so we had no room to complain. My stepdad was a newspaper boy at 14. I wasn't able to get a job until 16 and heard about it every day until then. People don't want to / can't hire under 16 most places, and if they do / can, then you're doing literally nothing because of the child labor laws. Back in their day, only complete losers had cars in high school. According to them, the cool guys were on the school bus with all the pretty girls. And they told me that shiz with straight faces. I think your parents were losers in high school. More likely that their parents just didn't want to buy a car. Their parents taught them wrong as joke. Mother, back in my day, nobody believed you when you got molested. I was molested. Me, gets molested. Mother, that's not funny to lie about. I don't want to hear about it again. This is a serious issue and you're mocking it. Sorry you're going through this shiz, sad face. Tragedy makes for great comedy. I appreciate the concern and taking a moment to let me know that you read this, but not to worry, the past is the past. Have an excellent day. Thanks for reminding that I left the stove on. All burners. All day. Run. My stepdad always rants about me not buying a home when he bought one at 21 years old. He always forgets to mention that it only cost him $22,000. Bet that home is valued at around $100K or more now, unless it was a shithole or not there anymore. If they're in Australia, that house is now probably valued at well over $1 million. That's not an exaggeration either. A home in San Francisco that was burned to the ground on a city lid sold for over $1 million. My mother likes to compare her younger self with me. She'd say stuff like, when I was your age, I didn't look like you at all. Especially your body. I was slimmer and it looked nothing like yours. Holy shiz, that's fudged up. You doing alright now? Yeah, I'm okay. Thanks for asking. It fudged me up for a bit. But I try to not let her words get to me. If it makes you feel any better, she's probably lying to make herself feel better, or she's jealous of what you have that she doesn't / didn't. My mother would try and claim my siblings and I were lazy because when she was 14 she used to come home from school, walk the dogs, then dance all night. Turned out this translated to she would go out drinking and clubbing underage. Apparently there was actual shiz you could buy for $0.25. Like, great. There's not anymore. What significance does this have to me? Nothing. Thought so. Absolutely love when they completely discount the effects of inflation too. In 1970, a quarter was worth $1.65 in today's money. Sure. Now take into account stagnating wages. My dad and uncle / aunt like to rant about how young people don't have any honesty or work ethic. My oldest and youngest uncle made moonshine. My middle uncle stole cars. My dad built moonshine running cars out of the parts, and my aunt ran off with a 50-year-old sugar daddy at 15. It took the car stealing uncle going to jail to straighten them out. My landlord summed it up nicely: you kids would have gotten shot for pulling half the stuff I did at your age. Damn, that's real. Respectable wisdom, too. Job hunting. That's great that this worked for you in the 80s, but it's the 2010s. But, just go in and apply. Just ask for the manager. That shows initiative. Right. Last time I did this at the insistence of my mother, they told me they don't keep printed applications anymore and to apply online. They were truly baffled that I came inside the store to apply for a job. But, just go in and apply. Just ask for the manager. That shows initiative. Well, sir, if you could just copy down our company website and apply online. WTF did I spend all this gas coming down here for? Having to listen to the getting to school and back stories. I know damn well that you didn't walk 10 kilometers in snow that reaches your waist, through a forest with wolves and no proper winter boots. We had one pair of shoes to share between the 7 of us. I got them on Thursdays. We used to live in one room, all 126 of us, no furniture. Half the floor was missing, we were all huddled together in one corner for fear of falling. You were lucky to have a room. We used to live in a corridor. Dad, back in my day, if your dad made a joke about you and you make one back, he'd take you out back and beat you for disrespect. Me, that doesn't seem respectable, beating people who you don't like up. Didn't you teach me to not do that? Dad, that was extremely disrespectful, and in my day I would have whipped you with my belt for that. Well, they don't mean respect, they mean submissiveness. Respect can mean talk to me like an authority or talk to me like a person. Unfortunately, some people expect respect and be treated like an authority for treating you like a person. My father likes to ramble about how back in his day he went to school, and also managed to work to provide sustenance to his mom and siblings. I think it's possible to study and work, but you have to be extremely lucky to earn enough to provide for a family these days while also studying. I think American, if you're talking about US, economy has fundamentally changed in the past 40 to 50 years, and yes, it is nearly impossible to work your way through studies while also being a bread earner for your family. Back in my day, a woman stood by a man, even if he beat the garbage out of her. No, Mom, no. Car seats. I don't care if you drove around with a baby laying in the front seat of your car, you aren't taking my toddler anywhere without a car seat. This one drives me nuts. Yes, Dad, my baby/toddler needs a car seat properly installed in the car, not just sitting on the back seat/floor. No, the straps do not need to be nice and loose so she can wiggle around. No, those aren't extra buckles. My dad won't be driving her anywhere. In my city about a week ago, my dad's friend passed out driving and killed 2 adults and a toddler in a car. He was killed in the accident. Adults weren't wearing seat belts and the toddler wasn't strapped in correctly. It's so sad. It always drove me nuts when my parents would complain about how we never spent any time outdoors, because back in their day they'd be tramping through the woods at all hours of the night. I wanted to do that, but I wasn't allowed outside. Got yelled at when I quit a job in college that paid $8/HR. I made $3/hour when I was your age. I would have killed to make that. Something inflation. Quit after I realized the money I made in a month would barely pay for one of my textbooks, and I was taking 18 credits and didn't have enough time to actually read them. Seriously. It's nothing now, but when Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown was made, Sally asking for 10s and 20s for Christmas was ridiculous. $10 to $20 in 1965 is about $80 to $160. Ambitious, but not that ridiculous. Dial phones. They complained about how kids these days, specifically my brother and I, don't know how to use them after forgetting we had one in the house until I was 7, and I know full well how to use one. And yet none of them can operate a telegraph using Morse code. Or signal with smoke. Incompetence. They can't even use interpretive dances. Or commit to memory a 1,500-year-old epic. SMH. What a bunch of useless idiots. They don't even know flag signals. Oaga booga, booga oaga. My parents always complained that back in their day the kids were always subjected to corporal punishments and were super submissive. They forgot that they already did that to me, they're just complaining that it didn't work that well. Not that they're actually submissive to my grandparents. Basically I have bad parents, and they're bad people. Exact situation I have with my mom's side of the family. Traditional Chinese as fudge, and they think that it helps teach when you nearly beat your kid to death multiple times in a month for not smiling or some shiz. When they get nostalgic over things like encyclopedias and catalogs. X200B. Don't play. You hated searching and waiting as much as we do. You love Amazon and Wikipedia too. My dad is always bitching about today's athletes. How they choose money and hold out or don't play while injured. In any other job, you would go where the money is. Why is it you have to be loyal in sports? Sure enough, when KD was sitting out in the finals, he thought you could never get me to sit during the finals, no matter what. Then KD injures himself and I shiz you not, he ranted about how you have to be smart about injuries or you just hurt your team. God forbid recovering from your injury and not risking your entire professional career.